Hey everybody, how's it going? Stoud Man coming back at you, and today I am going to show you some Blu-rays that I picked up recently. Only two this time, but yeah, as the title implies, these are musicals, which apparently I like musicals. I'm not really that into musicals. There are some that I really don't like West Side Story. I'm not really into that one. And then like your basic standard fare, Hello Dolly, stuff that's like supposed to be a musical and is in no way subversive. That to me I'm not really into that much. Although what I'm about to show you might, fly in the face of that, but I don't know. Let's just say that I'm more into stuff like Little Shop of Horrors, the 80s movie, than I am into, your standard Singing in the Rain, I guess you might say. And I think I would probably like Singing in the Rain too. I think Singing in the Rain's pretty good too. But, I'm more into the zany kind of stuff than I am into the stuff that's just, more romantic and more, all about the performers. I'm more into the ones that actually have a story to tell. So, I like Grease. I didn't used to like Grease when I was younger, but I like it enough now that it's like I'm probably going to buy it at some point. But for now, I decided to pick up these two because they were a really good price. One I actually already had, and this one I did not have yet, which I felt like, well, I need to fix that, because it's actually a quite good adaptation of this particular musical, and that is Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street. Blech, there we go. I believe this is the Tim Burton version. Yep, Tim Burton version of it. Starring, of course, who else except for Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter. When I first saw this movie, I really liked what Tim Burton had done with it, with the style of it and everything. I liked how the setting of London was really just kind of creepy and eerie and perfect in a lot of ways, at least in my opinion. It really kind of felt like the kind of London that you'd see in A Christmas Carol, which was really cool to me. In fact, that when I saw this, I was like, I want to see the Christmas Carol set in this universe to a certain degree. And I still say that. I would love to see A Christmas Carol set in this kind of a Tim Burton-esque universe. So if that ever gets announced, I'm just going to be like, yes! Do it like Sweeney Todd! Not necessarily meaning it should be a musical, although that would be interesting. But no, I mean just set it in this kind of a universe, really. There are a million different ways that London has been portrayed in movies, right? And what I'm saying is that I like the way that it was portrayed in this movie. Very good. I would say that some particular performances are not very good, or not as good as they could be, I guess. But they're still quite interesting, and they still provide a lot of unique qualities that you're not going to find in other representations of this particular story. So, yeah, when I saw this on Amazon it was $4.88, I think. It was less than $5. I think that's like a Walmart price, but it wasn't a Walmart Blu-ray. I said, yeah, I got to pick this up. So that's exactly what I did, and it came in a freaking Eco case. Can't believe it. Eco cases. Might have to replace that one, eh? So yeah, I was very happy with that. But then there was another sale, another really good deal on a musical on Blu-ray that I actually already had, but this was a new edition of it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna buy it again. And that's exactly what I did when I picked up here. Chicago Diamond Edition. That's what it is, right? Diamond Edition? Diamond Edition, yes. The big thing here with Chicago in the Diamond Edition, the reason that it is different from this edition that I already had, is that it's got a brand new transfer, 4K. It's actually done through something called Dolby Vision. It's Dolby's version of like 4K SHD or something like that. It's their version of 4K is what I'll say. And yes, this isn't a 4K disc, but it's a 4K transfer done in Dolby Vision on a Blu-ray disc. So I said, yeah, for that slightly better transfer, I'll do that. This already has a pretty good transfer, so if you have this, you don't have to worry too much about getting this. But this was $4.50. This was on sale for $4.50 on Amazon. So I really couldn't say no to that, because that's a really good deal for something that's essentially an upgrade of another Blu-ray. But in addition to it being a 4K remaster, it also has special features that are not included on this particular release. So in particular, they have one, I think it's like an hour or an hour and a half long documentary about the making of Chicago. And I think that's really fucking cool. It's really interesting. It's something that I might actually watch at some point in the near future. So I figured, you know what? $4.50 for a new 4K transfer and an hour and a half documentary about the movie that I enjoy. Yeah, that's worth doing. And hey, I'm going to actually hold on to this. But here's what I did. Here's what I did. Yep. There it is. There's the original release of Chicago, and there's the Diamond release of Chicago. Now, the reason you want to hold on to both copies of these, if you have this copy, or if you don't have this copy, you want to get it even if you have this copy. The reason you want both of these is because this one actually, I believe, has special features that this one does not have. This one, I've looked around, I don't think the Diamond Edition has the commentary on it. This one has the commentary on it. So you're going to want to hold on to this for the commentary, and because it's still a decent transfer on this Blu-ray. It's just not the ultra high definition deluxe 4K transfer that you're going to get from the Diamond Edition. So if you, like me, have the opportunity to get this and this, then yes, put both together in this one case and have a happy ultimate edition of Chicago. So I jumped at the opportunity to do that for $4.50 because that's a really good deal. And it also comes with a UV code that I might end up giving to my brother at some point. But yeah, very happy about that. Not sure what I'm going to do with this, but I will say that this has the DVD edition of the Chicago Diamond Edition that came with this. As you can see, this comes with the DVD as well. So I ended up deciding to put that in this case for now. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll just hold on to it. Maybe I'll send it to somebody. I don't know. But yeah, Chicago Diamond Edition. I would call this the definitive edition because it has the Diamond Edition and the original release of on Blu-ray here together in one set. So that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it my definitive edition of Chicago. And I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite musicals. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love it, and I think it's so fucking good. And honestly, like what I was saying with the whole subversion thing, Grease is kind of subversive in a lot of ways. Sweeney Todd, like, it's a musical, yeah, but it's not your standard musical that you always see from that heyday of Hollywood, right? And the same can be said for Chicago. Chicago takes it up a notch and tells a different kind of story, and it's just really fucking cool, right? So I like that. I like when they do that. I don't necessarily like the kind of Hollywood-esque musicals that came out of that era in Hollywood, but I do like the newer kind of musicals that they've been doing over the past 30 or 40 years, especially the ones that kind of subvert the norm in some way. And I feel like Chicago does that, and Sweeney Todd does that as well. So yeah, I would say that these are some fairly decent pickups, and considering that I didn't even pay more than $10. Hell, this right here is less than $10. That's a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Got Sweeney Todd on Blu-ray, and I completed a definitive edition of Chicago on Blu-ray. So yeah, that's pretty awesome, I think. Not really that into musicals, but when I do find a decent deal on musicals that I enjoy, I'm going to jump at it. So yeah, that'll do it for me today. Thanks for watching, you guys. Catch you later. Peace.